Well, you did the Sawgrass hardware one like at night sometimes.
So they all start at night. So I used to freehand all my stuff.
Wait, they all start at night?
They all start at night, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
So, like when I did all the portraits for Jay's, I did those. I just freehanded everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mural work that I've done up until the past few years, I freehand everything. And then I started getting jobs where there was font work incorporated, and I'm very picky. I will never sleep a night again in my life if it's not right. Like, I just need it to be right. So I started using a projector. And so with that, I realized that I could use the projector all the time. And the beauty of it is it saves me so much time. I don't put the line here and then take a step back and go, oh gosh, that's wrong.
What's up, Camden County? You are catching episode 41 of the Getting in Your Business podcast. I'm Alison Shores, your host from the Camden County Chamber of Commerce. This Getting in Your Business podcast is made possible by our Chairman Circle sponsors, Georgia's Own Credit Union, Comcast Business, Georgia Power Company, Sparklight, Plug Power, St. Mary's DDA, TDS Telecom, and Ameris Bank. Thank you to all of our sponsors. All right, let's get down to business. So today in the studio, I have one of my favorite people, Miss Amanda Moore. Yay! And we have so much to talk about because I don't know if, I think people probably know your name because they see it on all these murals that are painted so beautifully around town and their windows. But before we dive into that, I kind of want to get to know you as a person. So where are you from? How did you get to Camden County? All the things. Let's go there first.
So I'm from Long Island, New York.
Okay.
Born and raised. I left in 2008. I was
Okay.
18 at the time. I moved here with my boyfriend at the time and his best friend. Every mother's dream.
Right.
And I just loved it here. I know.
Sorry, that was funny. Go ahead.
Just down the whole East Coast, no big deal. And
You didn't move far away from home at all.
No, not at all. Never been here before. Just, they had family and friends stationed here at the military, and I kind of just went along, and I love it here. It's just a totally different pace. I love where I was raised. I love where I come from. I visit as frequently as I can. I really would not want to have grown up another way.
Yeah.
But it's just a calmer pace here that I really enjoy. It was more cost effective, especially at the time, especially for me at that time in my life, wanting to be independent. So I never left.
So you've been here the whole time?
Yeah, I left once for 3 months in 2014.
And got right back.
Came right back.
I love that. Now you do a lot. You are such a creative person.
Thank you.
Like I just love your work, and it's it's so funny because it's not just like your artwork that you're creative in. We'll get to that. But so speaking of your work, now how did you get into art?
So that is just like I was born with that. There's no getting rid of it. It's not a choice. It will never go away.
So like you loved it when you were little?
Mm-hmm.
You could draw. You were one of those kids that could draw.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, I'm not. I struggle with stick figures.
Well, we all have our things.
We
right?
do. Yes. And I'm so glad you were blessed with this talent.
Me
so
too.
continue.
I'm super grateful. And,
Yeah.
my mom talks about when I was little, I didn't ask for crayons. I asked for colors, and I just that was my thing. And my understanding is that somewhere in some of my extended family, there are artists, so
Okay.
it's just it's just a blood thing,
Yeah. Now, what's your favorite thing to do? Like, as far as, is it painting? Is it drawing? Is it what's the...
So probably my favorite is charcoal and chalk pastel, which I really don't use
Wait,
that much
charcoal
anymore.
and what?
Chalk pastel.
Oh, pastel. What?
Yeah. So, there's oil pastels, which almost feel like a crayon. They're an oil base. And then there's chalk, but it's not chalk like you'd use on a chalkboard. It's softer. It's more, there's a much stronger pigment. It's very it's messy. It's very messy. But for me, I find it easy to work with because you spread it very fast. I'm very impatient. I want the project done. So I like how quickly I can put something together with it, but it's not common. When I have commissioned work, it's generally paintings.
Yeah.
And
not to say that you don't like it. Yeah.
I definitely prefer the murals or the window painting over painting a canvas.
Okay.
For different reasons. Painting a wall is it's very precise. I know exactly what I'm doing from start to finish. I always fail with how long it's going to take me. Justin, my husband, he'll call it from the beginning. He's like, it's going to take 55 hours. And I'm like, no, gosh, I can't take 55 hours. I don't want to do this for 55 hours.
But going back to the chalk pastel, I'm like, that sounds like something fun that I would like to play. The child in me is like, yes, messy, let's go.
Yes, it's great. You know, you can kind of, like I said, spread everything quickly. And then, you know, there's ways to pull some of it off the paper to create detail and things like that. So,
are you self-taught?
Well, I had a high school art teacher in 11th grade that really pushed me. Up until I had her, it was just like I would just get good grades on whatever I made. I wasn't challenged. I wasn't really taking away probably from the class what I should have been. It was just like good enough, and that's fine. But I had this one teacher, and she was flexible in certain areas. Like, I hated journaling. So generally in art class, you have to sketch out what you're going to do and then do it. Why are you going to make me do this twice?
Yeah.
Please don't. This is just so frustrating. Just let me get started. Who wants to do anything twice?
I don't.
I mean, I don't.
No.
And she was didn't make me do it. And, you know, I had a rebellious kind of attitude about quite a few things. And it was nice also to be in an environment where that was allowed a little bit within reason. You know what I mean? I'm
thankful that she let you do that, because you might not be here if like doing this if you.
Well, I probably would have. I maybe would have been still just with a chip on my shoulder.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, just from having to do something I didn't want to do. But that's really where I started doing large portraits.
Okay,
you know, we had these huge rolls of like brown craft paper. You see, like, places use it to wrap breakables. Like, when you go shopping, I'm just like, I could do this.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That, you know? And so we just did these big projects. And it's actually a classmate of mine had done he painted a large portrait of his mom. It was a black and white portrait. It was beautiful. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't think to draw a portrait that big. I had already, like, drawn all my friends, you know. Yeah. At the time, I was using a lot of colored pencils. Prismacolor makes really good colored pencils. There's a little advertisement.
I'm sure that, like, the colored pencils you're talking about and the colored pencils I'm experienced with are two totally different things.
The good ones you can layer really well. It's like very nice. And so I was mostly doing that. And then, like I said, I saw my classmate's large portrait and I was like, I want to do this like that.
And so that's where the big came from.
That's where it all came from. Actually, the first one that I did is hanging in my house right now. It was my classmate. Her name's Angelica. Yeah. And I photographed her. We had a supply closet at school. And my teacher was really big on, like, reference things, but don't steal. Like, make it, you could pull elements, but like make it yours. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I'm going to photograph her myself. I'm like, we're in the supply closet. I have a heat lamp, like trying not to burn her face off and get her picture. And I drew this giant portrait of her. And my mom, of course, so proud of it. She had it professionally framed.
Of course she did.
Stepfather is, why do we have these? What are we doing?
Because my daughter did this.
Exactly. And so there's one that I don't want, and it's in the attic. And sorry, that's where it is. Their attic. It's not in my attic. It's in there. She won't get rid of it. And I have Angelica, and she's in my loft, my workspace, and
that is so cool.
It's huge. I mean, but she spent good money framing it.
I'm sure.
Put it on the wall.
Well, your mom is so sweet. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about your first mural. What's the first mural, if I can say that correctly? Did you do in Camden, or what did you do? Period. So, what was your first, like, on the walls, like, of a building?
On the walls inside of a building actually was at Salt Pepper Time, Sid and Tierra Johns.
Yes.
So a friend of mine at the time kind of referred me. They were looking for somebody to come in and do custom work for them. I love Sid and Tierra. I haven't seen them in so long.
I haven't either. When you said that name, I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, yes. They're so talented. And so I had such a good time with them. They hadn't opened yet. They were still, you know, that's one of my favorite things too, is working with new businesses before they even open. It's just a really exciting time.
You get to learn. They have, and see what they're doing. And
It's just like this moment of everything someone's dreamed about, like coming to life. It's really special.
it is. So, and I tell people, people are like, oh, Allison, but that's the best part.
It's
like,
so fun.
I love it. And you get to go on the journey kind of with them, you're part of the journey, and that's really cool.
And I'm super grateful for that. And, they had a menu board that they were doing, and there were some elements of it that were permanent. And then others, it was like a chalkboard. So I would come in like seasonally for the chalk portion. I got to work with chalk. Yay. That was like
chalk.
the only one.
Oh.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. It's just, it's nice when there's every job I'm grateful for, but there are some where it's like, I got to do exactly what I wanted.
That's cool.
And it wasn't compromised in any way.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll pitch something and of course we're going to make changes. It's very, very rare that the first one's, just right.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, I'll put in it what I really think would be really great. And then, can we take this out? And can we take this out?
But that's my favorite part.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
And it's okay. It's still great. It comes out. It's what they want. It looks good. I'm proud of it. I won't do something that I've turned down some where I just didn't feel like it was a good decision.
But there's a wider array of things you've done. I mean, from Sawgrass Hardware in Woodbine, theirs is more just their name with a little bit of, art. If I know it's all art, but you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, they have their logo on one side and it has the grass, and then things that they sell.
But then you have like over there by Firefly in downtown St. Mary's. That's really cool.
Thank you.
How long did that take you? Can I ask that question?
So that one, that one took me about 50 hours, but I had a lot of help from Justin on that one. So depending the job, he can help or not.
Well, you're also dependent on weather. And, that, like, cooperating. When you're doing the outside ones, that matters.
It was not... They were not consecutive hours at all. But with that one, I did have a lot of help. So had I had to do it alone, it would have taken much longer. But when I have a lot of solid colors over large spaces, then I'll just kind of mark the line and hand him the roller.
Yeah. Could you roll this, please?
Just please make all of that blue.
Now, how long will that last on that building without having to be touched up?
It's exterior paint, so as long as any other...
Good. Okay.
It's the same paint you paint your house with. So
so we'll get away from the murals for a second.
Sure.
Let's go to the windows because I saw in downtown St. Mary's during Christmas and now Valentine's Day. I saw on These Colors Don't Run tattoo. I saw her gnomes and I was like, you better stop. I know who did these. And so it was just so cute. I've seen downtown Kingsland do the same thing. Like, it's so fun.
It really is. It really, really is. So up until this year, it was only Christmas that I was painting for. And then I kind of realized I should try to paint for more of the holidays. And I love the Valentines. It's so fun. They're so sweet. I just love it.
It's so cute. I love it. And it just brings such a, I don't know, colorful and just fun, and it just brightens my spirits when I see stuff like that. I think it's really cool,
Thank you. I'm so glad.
So are you still looking to do like more murals and more windows? So I know a lot of our new businesses will use you. I know you did some stuff at Yankee Pie when they had that. That's still on that side of the building, that whole mural?
Yes.
How long did that one take you?
That one took 55. That one I did alone. Yeah.
Well, you did the Sawgrass hardware one like at night sometimes.
So they all start at night. So I used to freehand all my stuff.
Wait, they all start at night?
They all start at night, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
So, like when I did all the portraits for Jay's, I did those. I just freehanded everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of the mural work that I've done up until the past few years, I freehand everything. And then I started getting jobs where there was font work incorporated, and I'm very picky. I will never sleep a night again in my life if it's not right. Like, I just need it to be right. So I started using a projector. And so with that, I realized that I could use the projector all the time. And the beauty of it is it saves me so much time. I don't put the line here and then take a step back and go, oh gosh, that's wrong. Go back and fix it. It's right away.
Yes.
You know, because I create the image, I, you know, put it on my iPad, hook up my iPad to the projector, goes on the wall, and it gets done. So now I won't waste my time not using it. My time, materials, why would I?
Yeah.
So it's an overnight projection. So we have to wait till the sun goes down. And I bought an expensive projector, and I still have to wait until like the sun is down
Seriously
to really see.
Okay.
And so they're all very well aware I'm going to be out there in the middle of the night. Yeah. And Justin is always there with me, helping me.
I was about to say.
I know.
We're going to get some police involved if you're not careful.
Spooky.
Yeah,
it can be spooky, especially when I was at Sawgrass because it's so quiet. And
that's what so that's what always stayed on my mind when you would say you were up there in Woodbine, you know, painting at night. And I'm like.
Yeah, you could hear everything.
Like every single rustle, thing. Yes.
Cricket, every little. And like, of course, I love the nighttime. I love all the sounds of nature.
Me too.
But, you know, you're out there long enough and now you're tired because, like, I was still working at the bank at the time.
Yeah.
So I'm working all day.
Yeah.
And then now I'm out there all night and your head just starts to I'm just like, zombie apocalypse is going to happen right now.
Right. Like
it's happening right
But I start hearing stuff. Like, I don't even know if it's real what I'm hearing, but I'm like, I know that sounded like footsteps. That sounded like, you know, did somebody just shut a door somewhere? Like, that's what it sounded like.
And at the time too, I had my smaller projector. It was before the one that I have now. And so that was challenging because it only would project so large. So I had to section all the font work on the left. It was half and half. And so trying to line up the second half to match the first half and have everything still be level was very challenging. Then when I made it to the logo side, the power went out in Woodbine in the middle of the night.
Oh, no.
The whole street went black. And Justin's like, okay, let's just pack up and come back. I'm just, the projector is, don't touch it. Yeah. I love you. Don't touch that. I said I will sit in the car for hours for this.
Well, I was going to ask, like, okay, so do you pick like a stopping point ahead of time? Like, because you can't just leave something to say, you know what I'm saying?
So like, the stopping point is when the outline is done. Because by then I just need to sleep. You know, I have to get out of here. And so it's scary to look at. I tell every business owner, please don't let the progress stages scare you. Yeah. Please have the same confidence in me that you had when you hired me. It will not look like this when I'm done because it's messy. I mean, you know, the lines are not crisp. They're all spotty, especially if the wall is textured. You know, it's just, it's.
And too, like, I don't know if people know this, but you've done some other work too. Like, you know, I think David had you go to Brantley County to do one of our, actually a chamber member of ours here, Hendricks Air, and you did theirs. And I was like, this girl is so talented.
Thank you so much.
It looked like it was perfect. I could not believe like what David showed me and then what was on the wall. It was amazing.
Thank you.
So you will travel.
Yes. Thank you.
That was the point.
Thanks.
That was the point that I was trying to make is that you'll travel to do these things. You know, but Camden County, like you have just painted us up, and I love it.
I'm so grateful. Like
yes,
before.
Paint the town.
Yes.
So I want to talk about another. You know, you're creative not only in the artistic like being an artist, but you're also creative in the music world. Yay. And I guess that's called an artist too. I don't know all these terms, so just ignore me.
I hardly know the terms either, so you're good.
But let's talk about your music. Now, how long have you been into that, and how did you learn how to play?
So I picked up a guitar when I was 18. I had never really, I enjoyed singing. I felt like, you know, I was okay enough, you know, but I never picked up an instrument really until I was, like I said, I was 18. Actually got it from a friend of mine who got it for free. He like bought a keyboard, like a nice one, and they like throw in this free guitar.
And he's like, you want this?
I know. And I went to a party. And there was a guitar, and I just, you know, started kind of playing it a little bit. I was like, why? It was like under a blanket in a corner. You know what I mean? Like, he obviously didn't care about it. He was like, I don't care about that. Like, I got it for free. just have it. And I couldn't believe it, you know, and it was not an expensive guitar, but still, it was just so nice for him to just let me have it.
Right.
And I learned, quote unquote, how to play guitar through ultimateguitartabs.com.
I love it. That's how I learned how to play the harmonica.
Not exaggerating. You play the harmonica.
Okay, let me take that back.
We will talk about this.
I play Happy Birthday, and that's about it.
That's good enough. That is
and it's not even, it's like, Happy Birthday. It's not like Happy Birthday. You know what I'm saying? It's not a, it's very much.
This. My birthday is next month. I am showing up here.
Listen. You will get the Happy Birthday harmonica.
I cannot wait.
But I think that's really cool. Mm-hmm. So you did teach yourself.
I am still faking it till I make it. I have talked to Jerry Lee about learning music theory and my scales and what key I'm in, and he told me he would, but at the same time, he's like, you don't have to do that. You know.
Yeah.
It depends what your goals are. Like if you want to get to where you could play the guitar, or you feel like learning this will help you write music, then sure.
Well, you can stand up there and play your guitar and sing to it.
Yes.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Like, let me explain it. First of all, if I learned to play the guitar, which I have tried, and it is very hard, my fingers don't want to do what they're supposed to do, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I've accepted that now.
Sure.
It's just not going to happen. But to be able to do that, know what you're playing, not watching it and singing to words, you got to know all the words too. Like, that's a lot.
It can be a lot.
To you, I know it seems like, okay, come on, Allison. But like when I watch people do that, it's incredible. It's something I don't have. Yeah. So for you to have that, it's incredible. So don't downplay like your talent, because it is.
Well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so what is the name? Like, do you just do like I think it's Amanda Moore. Is it Amanda Mood Music?
It is Amanda Mood Music. Okay. So my first, middle, and last name are very common, and there's already an Amanda Marie out there. There's already an Amanda Moore out there, and so I just changed more to Mood, which I liked. I like that vibe.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Yeah, that's my solo music. So when I play solo, I play through that name. Mm-hmm. And then the duo, we started back in 2018. Bob Langan and I. He actually asked me at an open mic night at Jay's if I wanted to start a band, which I grew up like my peers in high school were in bands.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, and I have a very musical family, but they're all like classically trained. Mm-hmm. You know, they play with orchestras and they teach music. Mm-hmm. And so I never really like went out to eat and there was live music, maybe a piano player, you know, but not live music like we have here and like people have all over. It wasn't a part of my like culture growing up.
Well, honestly, mine either. Like, I don't think we went out to eat a whole lot, you know, and there just wasn't all that. But now it's definitely part of it.
So he asked me and I kind of laughed it off. Like, I'm 28 years old. Like, what are you talking about? And then I thought about it and I was like, well, what do I really have to lose? Like, this is something I enjoy doing. If I can earn money and if I can kind of share it with the community, then like, let's go ahead and do it. Mm-hmm. And our very first gig was at Outer Banks. Yeah. And now every November I try to do our like anniversary gig there.
Absolutely.
I know. And so Bob and I played music together for 6 years. Our 6-year like bandversary, if you want to call that, was in November. And now this year he is focusing on other projects. Mm-hmm. I have a new band partner, Jared Franco.
Okay.
Yay. I'm so excited. Yeah. So we've had a few practices so far. Mm-hmm. I don't know when we'll start gigging together. Mm-hmm. I'm still doing everything through the solo page, but the duo is still Full Moon Folk.
I love it.
Yes.
That's where I first heard you. And I was like, because I had met you on the bank side of things, you know, when I first started. And then somebody was like, no, she plays in a band. I was like, no, she works at a bank, you know? And then I saw you somewhere. I don't even remember where now. And I just was like, oh my gosh, I know her. She does have a band. So I had to go and follow you from there. And it's so good. You've played at our Business After Hours. I know you've just done some amazing things and we love you guys. Like, it's just, you're just so awesome.
You're awesome.
So, well, thank you. I want people to know where they can get a hold of you if they need their windows painted or their building with a nice mural. Like, gosh. Now, before we do that, do you get to do the creative?
It's shared.
Or is it a joint? Like,
yes. So there are some like Candace with the City of St. Mary's. she'll let me do whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Candace.
Yeah, we love Candace.
But at the same time, like when I did the windows for From the Ground Up Wellness,
yes,
she knew exactly what she wanted. And I didn't feel disappointed with that.
Yeah.
You know, and I was glad to be able to deliver what she wanted.
Yeah.
Some people really know what they want.
Yeah.
And so it's easy either way.
Yeah.
It's easy to get what I need, but then it's also easy to put whatever I want.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's pros to both on both.
Okay. All right. I could keep you here forever. So how can people get a hold of you if they on the paint side, if they want any of that stuff or interested?
As far as social media goes, that's probably the easiest place to see what I've done.
Okay.
And follow me. And then of course, you know, through that I could reach it, you know, they can reach out on Messenger.
So is it Amanda Moore? Is that what they need to search?
It's Amanda Moore Custom Art.
Perfect.
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And then also Full Moon Folk on Facebook and Instagram, and Amanda Mood Music on both Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you for taking the time to come in here and talk this out with me. I really appreciate it.
Me.
Yes.
I really appreciate it.
Was there anything else you wanted to mention while you were here before we go?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Thanks for asking.
Yes. All right. Well, guys, you have caught episode 41 of the Get In Your Business podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe.